Let's get you all the updates of what played out as part of the farmers' Delhi Chalo march. It's been halted temporarily because there's a huddle currently underway between farmer leaders to figure out whether they should continue their dialogue with the centre or not. And this comes after a fresh outreach from the government. But what exactly happened today? Did we see scenes of violence like we did last week? Well, essentially, there were farmers who gathered with thousands of tractors as well along the border areas. Tear gas was fired repeatedly by police officials deployed particularly along the Shambhu border to ensure that farmers would not try to push through the cement barricades put in place. Here are the ground reports filed by my colleagues.
After 2 days of pause, on Wednesday, the Delhi Chalo march resumed. Tractors and trolleys loaded with sandbags rolled towards the national capital.
Preparations are under its way to save themselves from tear gas. They are keeping these jute bags wet. Whenever a tear gas shell will be actually fired, these bags will be used by the farmers to move forward. Also, these sandbags you can see that were filled by the farmers yesterday have now been kept on the ground. Clearly, the arrangements have been made by the farmers, but this time the Haryana police is also not keeping any stone unturned to stop them from moving ahead.
Heavy-duty machineries like pocklane and earth movers queued at Delhi's entry point near Shambhu border. Farmers were seen ready with armoured gear and gas masks and even steel shields to combat any tear gas firing. National capital entry points were fortified as protesting farmers started moving forward.
JCB machines have been put. They say that as far as the machinery has been put here, the pocklanes, and these are the ones which is going to move forward. That means tension ahead of this entire movement. And clearly, these glasses have been put, this mask has been put. So the farmers very much ready. We've heard about Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, and it seems that the Jawan is versus the Kisan. It's going to be a big showdown here.
हरियाणा पुलिस के जो जवान है वो मौजूद है वहाँ पर बड़ी संख्या में। अनिल जायसवाल आगे की तरफ और ये देखें कि किस तरीके से हरियाणा पुलिस की तैयारी है और जिस तरह से किसानों ने पोकलाइन मशीन मंगाई है। सामने की तरफ देखिए हरियाणा पुलिस ने भी वो पोकलाइन मशीन मंगवाई हुई है वहाँ पर। तो सीधे-सीधे जिस तरह की तैयारी किसानों की है उसी तरह की हरियाणा पुलिस की है।
Tear gas shells were sporadically fired to impede their advance.
Look over there, the drones that are being used to actually drop the tear gas shells. This, despite the central government suggesting or requesting for a fifth round of talk, we clearly see the farmers leaders have been meeting to understand whether they will agree for a fifth round of talk. They are clearly getting a little agitated, and that's why trying to challenge the forces on the ground. Clearly, this is why you see these tear gas shellings that is right now happening at the Shambhu border.
In a bid to ease tensions, the government extended an offer of a fifth round of talks, emphasizing the need for peaceful resolution.
हम यही अपील करेंगे कि पांचवी दौर के बैठक के लिए हम सबको आगे बढ़ना चाहिए और ऐसे मुद्दे पर संवेदनशील होकर के हम अपना पक्ष रखें, क्योंकि सरकार भी यह चाहती है कि इसका समाधान हो। तत्कालिक दृष्टि से भी दीर्घकालिक दृष्टि से भी हमें समस्या का समाधान की दिशा में वार्ता के माध्यम से आगे बढ़ना है।
और हमने जो प्रधानमंत्री जी को अपील की थी, जो कोशिश की थी इस मोर्चे में शांति रहे और हमारे किसान मजदूर की जो सरकार है खून की प्यासी ना हो, हम आज भी आग्रह करेंगे प्रधानमंत्री महोदय से आगे आइए और इस मोर्चे का शांतिपूर्ण जो हल है वो करने के लिए आप एमएसपी गारंटी का कानून बनाने की अनाउंसमेंट कीजिए। तो इसके लिए इसके बाद इस मोर्चे को पीसफुली रखा जा सकता है, लोगों की जो भावना है उसको कंट्रोल किया जा सकता है।
Previous discussions between the government and the protesters ended in an impasse, with farmers standing firm on their demand for minimum support price assurance on all crops. The latest round of farmer protests witnessed thousands gathered at the borders, and their bid to enter into Delhi remained unsuccessful. with Arvind Ojha, Shreya Chatterjee and Kamaljeet Sandhu at Shambhu border. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you a quick update from the ground. We've got Manjeet Sehgal joining us from the Haryana Shambhu border. Shreya Chatterjee joining us live from the Punjab Shambhu border. All of this bordering with the national capital. Shreya, to you first, can you give us a sense of what really you witnessed firsthand today? What's the situation currently and what's going to happen tomorrow?
Akshita, from where we have been reporting since morning, because of the visuals, maybe people might have thought that things spiraled out of hands. But what we really saw was a sort of quid pro quo status that was maintained at the Shambhu border, very similar to something that we have seen since the last few days. Now, what really happened today? When the farmers had given a call for a Delhi coach ahead at 11, we saw the Haryana police fire tear gas shells because the youngsters in the front line, they somewhere down the line were resorting to reckless behavior. Post that, we saw the Agricultural Minister Arjun Munda request the farmer leaders that please come ahead and have a fifth round of talk. The farmer leaders had a discussion. From what we learned from our sources, they will probably agree to the fifth round if the government clarifies that they will discuss a guarantee on MSP and the time and date. So this is something that is yet to come as a formal announcement. But what
that's an important point that you mentioned also, Shreya. Let me just take that forward with Manjeet as well. Manjeet, if these talks go through between the government and the farmers, and of course everyone's hoping that there is a breakthrough, for the moment along these borders, are farmers still stationed there? Are they still planning a Delhi Chalo march tomorrow if things don't go as planned?
Well, Akshita, everything depends on the decision being taken by the farmer leaders. They said they are discussing the offer being made by the union minister about the fifth round of talks. It is still not known whether the farmers will join or not, but sources say that they are in touch with the Punjab government. Punjab government wants a solution for their demands, but the principal demand still remains that the government should enact a law on the MSP. So this remains on the top of the demands, but we are just waiting for the formal announcement by these farmer leaders whether or not they will join the talks or not, and what will be the venue of the talks, whether talks will be held in Chandigarh or somewhere else. So a formal announcement from the farmer unions are awaited.
All right, Manjeet, Shreya, thanks for that update. Let's just cut across to a quick news break coming in on the story. So the government-farmer stalemate continues. The government has reached out saying, let's hold the fifth round of dialogue. We'll discuss MSP, we'll discuss compensation and several other issues, including stubble burning. So the government has made this outreach, but at the same time, farmers are yet to decide on whether they'll be having this dialogue. Our reporters on ground saying in all likelihood the farmer leaders have decided that yes, they will go ahead for a fifth round of talks with the government, but they remain steadfast on their demands, saying very clearly that their demands is something that's non-negotiable. So we'll have to wait and watch to see if the centre comes out with a fresh proposal and what really that means into tomorrow, going into tomorrow, whether we're going to see one more protest by the farmers.